Assalamu alaikum, my dear students of class 7. This is your teacher, Ms. Yusra Mughal, and I welcome you again in a virtual class which is organized by Metropolitan School. So my dear students, now let's moving towards the exercise of the chapter of the next chapter, which is on page number 176. What you will have to do in this exercise, but before doing this exercises, we are going to recall the exercises which we have done previously, right? So what we have done in the previous lesson, we have learned about the conjunctions. So this is the continuation of those exercises. So here some are more conjunctions which you are supposed to do the exercise according to that, right? So what are those conjunctions? Those conjunctions are either or and neither nor. So where should we use either or and where should we use either and neither and nor? So this is a question. So my dear students, we have discussed the uses of or in the previous lesson. So in this one we are going to start that where to use either or. Where we use either and or, whenever we can go for any of the stress in the sentence, that it should be at the one place or another, like I am giving you the choice of that thing. So that in that very sentence we are supposed to use either and or, right? Similarly the case is with neither and nor, whenever you are going to give stress to the sentence, right? So let's have an example. The pen may be in the desk, if not it is on the table, right? So there is a sentence in which they give you the two options that it is on the table, it is in the desk, and if not it is on the table. So maybe in the desk or maybe on the table. So how can you change? While using the conjunctions either and or, the pen is either in the desk or on the table. So here I think you can understand that where to use either and or, whenever you have two things, two comparisons, so you can use this in this way, right? So let's solve number 1 from your exercise. The bottle maybe contains soda water, if not it contains lemonade. So it contains soda water or lemonade, so we have the two choices, right? So how can we change the sentence? The bottle is either contains soda water or it contains lemonade, right? Similarly, now let's moving towards the exercise B of the same page. What you will have to do in this exercise, you will have to join these pair of sentences together using neither and nor. So now let's take an example. We did not see Mary, we did not see Jane either, right? So there already two person given, there is a choice of two person, right? So we saw neither Mary nor Jane, right? So there is the number 1 sentence from your exercise. The car was not in the garage, it was not the outside the house either. So not in the garage and outside the house, the two places, the two comparison here is given already. So how can we change it? The car was neither in the garage nor outside the house, right? So this is how this exercises should be done in your copy. So now students, let's moving towards the exercise C, which is on the same page. In this exercise, what you will have to do, you will have to express each sentence in another way as in the example. So now let's moving towards to the example. You must either be quiet or else go outside, right? So you must be quiet or else go outside. So have you seen in the very first sentence there is a choice given, right? But in the second sentence there is a consequence that if you are not gonna quiet, you will have to go outside, right? So what you will have to do, you will have to change this accordingly. You must either sit here or stand up, right? So there is two options given, but you must sit here or else stand up. There is a reason. If you are not sitting here, so you will have to stand up, right? So this is how this exercise should be done. Now let's moving towards the another work of your grammar, that is letter. Write a letter to your principal requesting him to allocate more classes for completion English syllabus. As you have seen that this is the formal letter, because it's writing towards the principal about what? About the completion of English, allocating the more classes for the completion of English syllabus, right? So you will have to write it down by your own, and the format will be given to you in the PDF form as well as discussing in so many times in the classes as well, and in the virtual lessons as well. So there is another thing, that is the story writing, which is given you in the PDF form. What you will have to do in the story, that there are some vocabulary meanings, phrasal verb meaning or idioms meaning given to you with the each chapters, right? So you'll have to make the story by using those vocabulary, those phrases and those idioms meanings in it, right? So there is another thing, that is comprehension. What is comprehension? That a passage is given to you, and under the passage there are some questions related to the passage, and you will have to answer all those questions, right? So the passages may be seen, seen means it is from your book, or maybe unseen, it means it is from any of the source, right? So you will have to read the passage properly, so you will have to write the answers according to the passage. So now I am telling you that how the formal letter should be written, right? What is the structure of that formal letter and how you can write the formal letter. For the formal letter, if you are writing to the principal, so the pattern you will have to follow is the principal, Metropolitan School, Karachi, right? This is how you will have to write the pattern of the starting of the letter. Then there is a subject, right? The subject should be of 4 to 5 words, nothing else more than that. Then respected sir or madam, right? And starting from here you can write whatever your application is, whatever you are supposed to write about it. And next, yours obediently, your name. I am writing XYZ, you will have to write down your name. And if you are writing the application on the basis of the whole class, you will have to write the class of the 7 class or students of class 7, right? And XYZ, and here at the right side of your copy you will have to write the date, whatever the date it was, right? So this is how the formal letter should be done in your copies. You will have to follow the pattern. The whole thing comes in a proper way, in a proper line. There is no need to start paragraph from here or from here. No, you will have to write it down from here. Else the paragraph should end here. You will have to start next paragraph from here, because this is the very formal letter. But in informal letter, the letter which you are writing to your friends or to your family or to anyone else, you can write it down by your own. There is no much pattern needed in it. But in the formal letter there is a certain pattern and you will have to follow the pattern, right, my dear students? So I hope you understand the formal letter, and see you in the next lesson.